was trying not to call, I was just trying to, just be like, let me just listen to Karen and Don talk. But I got a radical opinion, right? I got a little different. Okay. So here's the thing. I am of the belief, and I could be delusional. Okay. I believe that regardless of the sexy reds and the Ice Spice fart song, whatever those things are, I have a belief in our youth. And I'm saying that in a way that I think what's different, what I'm seeing at least, I have a 9-year-old, is that I don't think they're taking none of it as serious as we're taking it. And I do think that they do. I agree with you on what somebody said. I think it was Karen was saying how like the visuals of like if these are the people making money. I do see that, but I also see the little boy who did the Super Bowl interviews, and I'm telling my daughter, look at that. You know what I mean? I'm like, I also see these Black families on YouTube that she's following. And they're showing themselves, and the interracial families where they're going on vacations and they're doing challenges in their home, and she's also following that. I think that the idea that the worst of the 1%, that's the worst visuals of Black people surfacing, meaning that is going to be the thing that everybody sees. And by the way, I'm coming straight from the Middle East. I just got home yesterday from Jordan. So that's a whole other perspective that I have at this moment as well. So
Well, I
I
mean,
just, I don't
so
know.
you wait, and this is another thing, right? To the person on Twitter who said every Black person gets painted with that brush. I remember Oprah saying she got off a plane in Africa and somebody said, "What up, my N-word" to her, and she was horrified. We know that we also export. When I say we, America exports Black culture. Like this is Black culture. Like it's all in the music. You being in the Middle East in Jordan, what did you see? What's the
None.
influence?
I didn't see that, to be honest. So just for context, so I travel to different countries with the State Department during these trainings called Tech Camp. And this particular training is Tech Camp alumni. So these are women from all over the MENA region. So women from Palestine, women from Israel, women from Algeria, women from like just all these different places, Egypt. And they're the top women in their fields in tech. So, one of the women was like the top Jordanian woman in AI. You got like they're top of their class in computer science and engineering and mechanical engineering, civil engineering, like the top of their game. None of what we're talking about there was present at all. I also didn't feel like prejudgment at all. More, it was like you're American. You're an American. That was really it. It wasn't necessarily like you're Black, because over there it could be a number of Black people, right? And they could be coming from anywhere in the region. So until my habits and until I open my mouth, do they know I'm not from the region? They don't know it just by looking at me. Um, so I think that they may know it because of what I'm wearing, and they're like, "Oh, you're not from around here." But we didn't talk. There was no Super Bowl, of course, y'all know that. There was no like, oh, Beyonce didn't break the internet in the Middle East. That was only over here. There was no she's shopping country, like none of that. I found all that out on the plane coming back home because I looked it up.
Wow. Okay. Hope. Are you hopeful as a result of that? Yeah. Okay.
Keep hope alive. That's what I always want to add to this conversation. Okay, please, everybody, stay hopeful. I think, and I always say that because we spend a lot of time, and we do need to spend this time. Like, I'm so glad y'all are having this conversation. It's necessary to keep talking about it so that you can keep changing the minds of hearts of people who may have thought it was okay. But you know what? They know who we are. Like, I also believe like they know who we are. Yeah, they may see this thing on the news or that thing on the news, but it's a range. You're completely ignorant all the way to you're completely in the know. People know who we are.
Love it. All right. Well, thank you for that. And welcome back in the safe travels. I also think, though, Omi, you are in a space of tech where there's a different expectation because you wouldn't be in this space unless you were a tech maven, unless you had skills and expertise in this area. So that to me is also a game changer and equalizer in terms of like they're not expecting you to come in and twerk. You're coming in and tech. You know what I'm saying? So
There's a context.
yes, yes. And we could walk and chew gum. I feel like that, but let me ask both of you this. What we consume every day, which I do believe is manufactured on some level, how much of it gets codified in the way we treat each other and the way we see each other?
I think a lot, a whole lot of it. And that's the danger of a lot of the popular media stuff, but that's also kind of why we can parenting and we cannot concede leadership and we cannot concede governance. Cultural governance cannot be conceded to artists, but I would suggest that it never has been. It's always been teachers who have a larger impact than Ice Spice. It's always been parents. It's always been, the guidance counselor and the preacher and the community leader. And I think, Omi, you're right. My sister lives with me now in my bachelorhood, and she often reminds me, you are very hard on those boys, but they're not crazy. They're not effing up out here. They're good, respectful boys. And it goes to Omi's point about, the kids are gonna be all right. Not only that, but you're doing okay, and I think collectively we're doing okay if we're able to raise our eyes kind of beyond a lot of the sludge that we've been talking about that's pushed upon us by cultural pop media, right? And these large mega corporations who are pushing the content in front of us, be it music or YouTube's or whatever else. But we do have to be intentional about taking our eyes off of that stuff, removing our eyes from these screens and from this constant deluge of media, which is not the good stuff. But we do have, if you are able to, first of all, if you're preaching the right values in your home, and second of all, if you are including your children and your family in community, in churches, in social clubs, the right things really still are being taught. And I think that for the most part, our kids are kind of still getting it. Although a lot of these images and stuff, if overconsumed, can be extraordinarily dangerous.
866-801-8255. Omi Bell called in from the car, traveling to someplace. I don't know where she's going, but that's none of our business. Don Calloway is here as well as the Karen at the show. You wanted to say something, Omi?
I was just gonna say, I think about your question in a very practical way, right? Like throughout my daily life, whether I'm traveling, within the country, or where I'm going to the grocery store, like, do I feel like people are looking at me as some of the narratives around Black people, and I think it's interesting. I think because it's a generational thing too. Like, I don't know if once you reach a certain age, I don't know that any, even, white, brown, black, green, whoever, I don't know that I'm running into anybody right now who's like, oh, you ice spicing it? You know what I mean? Like, nah, not at this age. You know what I mean? But like, are they looking at my 9-year-old that way? Is what I have to think about. Are they looking at my 25-year-old that way? In the way that they look and dress and probably carry themselves, maybe not, but I do know there are these subtle things, like my 9-year-old is a little girl. Are they viewing her as a little girl? No, I don't think so. I think that on a regular basis, adults, because she may be a little taller or maybe a little rounder or have, then she automatically gets put into a category like many Black girls as being more adult-ish than a little white girl who can have her belly out and is not viewed as anything because she's just a cute little white girl, like. So when I think about it like that, I see that. When I put her in certain positions, I don't think they expect it. Like she takes horse riding. They don't expect us there. You know what I mean? Like, of course, like she's one of maybe 2 Black kids, and the other Black kid has been in it way longer than her. So she probably was the only one of her when she started. So I'm saying all that to say the generational aspects of that are real. Like Don's boys may be looked at as you know, oh, they might be thugging it, even though they're not. Right. But like Don, I don't know that anybody that, you know, they looking at Don like Don is a thug. I don't know, Don, if that in your present day age, if you're experiencing that.
I would like to believe that I still have a general thug appeal.
Oh my
It
God.
works. Listen. Listen. No black man out here in these streets wants to be considered soft, wants to be considered somebody you can run up on. And so if you call that thug, you call that semi-dangerous, whatever you want to call it, no brother wants to be considered the mark.
You've been gotten.
And listen, maybe that makes me hyper toxic masculine. All the liberal buzzwords, I'll be that. But nobody wants to be considered soft out here. I don't think I'm.
Well, let me tell you. Hold on. Erica Badu tweeted, "Thank God for the Super Bowl." What'd she say? Because now we could cheat with the soft ass men out here. This what we cheating with
I saw
now.
That was wild.
I was like, Erica, what are you doing?
Because let's be clear.
Wild. Did you feel triggered?
Let's be clear. Black men don't cheat. So I thought it was. What? I thought it was wild.
Okay, that's it. Now we got to go to break. You clearly have lost your damn mind. Don Calloway is here.